Alright guys, welcome back to Lore and Tea, the chill club for all things geeky. Today we're talking about One Punch Man Season 3, which we just recently finished. And yeah, that's going to be... I'm sure you guys are well aware of the hatred that season has been receiving online. I feel like we're much more forgiving to it than most people are, but hey, that's just us. Anyways, as per usual, before we dive into it, Legendet, what kind of tea do you got?
I got just classic Sweet Dreams tea, one of my favorites.
Oh, perfect. I like that one quite a bit. I'm still working through my mountain of mint medley, which is probably my favorite tea if I had to pick one. I like the mint kind of stuff. Anyways, yeah. So okay. So one thing, like first things first. I'm reading the manga, but I haven't read anything past the anime. So please, no spoilers for events that have happened beyond where the season 3 of the anime ends. If you have read ahead in the manga, I'm just simply not there yet. Neither is Legendet, and we don't really, you can understand we don't want things spoiled for us. Anyways, with that being said, we're just going to kind of talk, like shoot from the hip, just discuss season 3 very casually, kind of like as we would um, if we are just like a couple of friends talking about it. If you've watched this podcast for any amount of time, you know we kind of just like to keep things chill. This is not a video essay or any kind of formal analysis. This is meant to simulate just a nice little hangout discussing nerdy things that we enjoy. So, Legendet, as both of us have been kind of getting more into anime over the past year or so, what did you think overall, general terms, like reactions to One Punch Man Season 3?
Overall, it was good. Like, I feel like I haven't watched the first seasons enough to notice the animation changed that much, so that didn't bother me. But story-wise, it was good. There's a lot of filler episodes in there. Like, it was also kind of needed just to see all the other heroes, because you don't know that much about them to this point. And
Yeah.
it really felt like the whole season was just setting up for Garo to break his limiter.
Yeah. For sure. I think so, yeah, to just address the elephant in the room, the animation. I feel like the animation and the pacing are the two primary things people hate about it, with the animation definitely being the front seat. Just to address the elephant in the room with that, yes, the animation has gone down. Like, season 1 animation was some top tier anime animation. Season 2 was a little bit less significant than season 1, but I felt like I certainly had no qualms with season 2. I know some people complained about the animation back then. Granted, also for us too, we didn't wait like 6 years or the absurd amount of time in between season 2 and 3 because of all the crap that went down to that production wise. But so for us, it really just kind of felt like a typical year in between, like a normal season wait. So there is that, probably why we're much more forgiving to it. But yeah, for me, the animation was like noticeably worse, but I felt like the episodes where it was truly important episodes of the season, which admittedly were very few, but the ones that were very important, I felt like the animation was serviceable enough for me to enjoy without being too upset about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd agree.
Like, I feel like the three main episodes where the animation was good was also kind of the three ones where it definitely needed to be better animation. Was the Gara versus the Monster King fight, the swordsman fight there, and the finale episode with One Punch Man and Terrible Tornado taking on Gero Gero and Orochi. Like, I felt like those were, again, it definitely wasn't as good as season 1, realistically not even as good as season 2, but it felt serviceable to me. Like,
Hmm.
you know? So we're probably not going to talk about the animation much beyond that. Of course, it wasn't as good as before. We all know it. There was reasons behind it. I don't think it was like there's tons of problems with the production, but it doesn't seem like they were genuinely trying to make something low quality. So, we're just gonna move on from that now and more focus on the actual events of the season. Yeah, so with that out of the way, kind of rewinding to the beginning. Season 2 left us off with the Sentachuro punch, which was a fun scene. I really liked that. And pretty much ended immediately after with Garo being carried off to the Monster Association headquarters. From there, obviously the rich kid of the, one of the, basically, what do they call him? He's basically like a sponsor to the Hero Association, right? The rich family there, and he has the kid that was abducted to lure the heroes in, basically. And everyone's kind of gearing up to go down there. Gara wakes up in the lair. That's where season 3 begins. Kind of rewinding our memories back to then. Legendet, How'd you feel about kind of the opening moments of the season, the first few episodes? Did it fulfill maybe some stuff you were expecting to happen at the end of season two? Did it be different than you thought? What are your first impressions?
Um, at first I was a little worried about Garo getting too much into being like a monster because I liked how he was kind of rebelling against both sides the whole
Hmm.
show. And so at first, with how much he was interacting with the monsters, I was like, is he gonna like join them? I don't really want him to. But they didn't end up
Hmm.
doing that. They ended up having him rebel even more. So that was good.
Hmm.
I liked that. I liked
Yeah.
the interactions with Garo and that kid. I forget his name,
Hmm.
but
Taria.
yeah, I liked that. It's cool seeing him like care about someone,
Hmm.
even if you won't admit it.
Yeah. I think the probably Taria reminds him of himself when he was a weak kid as well, you
Yeah.
know. Except Tario lacks kind of the motivation to get stronger, and so he's like always yelling at him like you need to take care of yourself. I think he's trying to instill like what he learned as a kid, where he was like, oh, I need to
Hmm.
evolve basically, or else I'm always going to be a punching bag. Um, yeah, the Garo thing too. Yeah, so like obviously, kind of what started all of this is he's sympathetic for the monsters. Like he kind of has that awareness of like kind of the world creates villains for a lot of different reasons, so he kind of feels for them because their lives are kind of tragic, right? um
Right.
and that kind of obviously the kids, I do wonder how the bully kids, obviously they serve their purpose for kind of being the catalyst for shaping Garo's perception of the world around him, but we don't really like know what they grew up to be. I would be very curious as to those kids who'd all be around 18ish like Garo, if they've maintained their like there's such like, oh, villains objectively bad always, heroes are always right, and also to the point of we need to suppress anyone with a different opinion. Like I'd be interested to see if they've kept that as they've grown, or if it was more of an immaturity thing, because they're all young enough where it's like it might not reflect them being true, like their true opinions. Like, when you're a kid you're kind of an idiot, like,
Hmm.
you know and I feel like Garo is a bit more emotionally aware or mature in that regard to
Yeah.
like assessing reality, and that's kind of what did him in. So I just wonder if those kids would grow up to be entrenched in their methods and personas, or if they grew out of it. I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever go back to the bullies, but it'd just be interesting to see. But
Yeah.
yeah, all that to say is Garo is always, sympathetic towards the villains, which in this universe are mostly considered the monsters. But then, of course, as season two progresses, we get one of my favorite lines from Garo: "Screw good, but screw evil too. I'm here to fight
I
for
love that.
underdogs everywhere." Perfect
That's the
line,
best line.
exactly. And that kind of shows like he's not trying to necessarily be monstrous. He's just like the Lorax is speaker for the trees. He's like speaker for the monsters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And then yeah, but so that was, I too was a little bit concerned when they're like, oh, you got to bring us a hero's head, because he hasn't technically murdered a hero yet. He beats them to a pulp and then just kind
Hmm.
of leaves them. And he even expressed how he's like, oh, he felt relieved that Bang survived the encounter with Sentatoro. He was like, oh man, he's like kind of feeling ashamed almost that he was glad that his former master didn't die. And then so he kind of set out there like, oh, bring us a hero's head. I was concerned that he was going to commit to being a monster,
Hmm.
like joining up with the monsters, which I felt like was going to be a bit of a betrayal of that cool line at the end of season two, right? And kind of his anti-hero persona. Because granted, he did kind of be like, oh, I'm the human monster, I'm going to be a monster. But I feel like the more he learns about the monster world, the more he's like, I'm not for these guys either,
Yeah.
right? Especially when they want to, like, obviously they were going to just kill Tario and stuff. Like, I think they used Ripper on
Right.
purpose to be the dichotomy of Ripper's just like the sadistic, like, child murderer, and Garo
Hmm.
far from that. Um,
Yeah.
so I think they had that moment too, where the insect god and Ripper were after Tario to kind of contrast and be like, yeah, Garo really isn't a monster in the sense that these monsters are, right?
Right.
Like, he's sympathetic towards people that have gone through crap and like are rebelling against the world, kind of like him. Like Crab Demon was the perfect example of that, back in season two. So yeah, I really liked that they kind of made you wonder about that, but then kept to the side of like Garo is his own acting entity. Like, he's not aligned
Right.
with any faction. He's trying to make a statement more so, to everyone, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I love that his hair has stayed like, the red, like the dyed with his own
Hmm.
blood from season 2. That was really
That was
good.
dope.
Yeah, I just loved, and I keep glazing season 2, but like, it's off the heels of it.
Right.
I just really like the Garo character, and I think that's why, honestly, me and you are probably less hateful towards the season than other people. Just we like the character so much that like we get colors, movement, and sound, and we're pretty easy to please just because we like the characters. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah. So anyway, hand the microphone back to you. Kind of the main thing after that was Garo goes to eat at the place where Saitama also is at, and once again they're in close
Oh
proximity,
yeah.
not really acknowledging each other properly. What do we think about these like tease encounters between Saitama and Gaara that's continued into season 3?
I love it. I mean, one, it really shows how just like not caring Saitama is to not even notice who it is, like to not
Yeah.
know who the hero hunter even is, and then be
Yeah.
so close to him and still not know.
Yeah.
And to the point where they almost like were about to fight or something, and he still didn't even like care.
Yeah, well, and it also displays just the sheer power gap with how powerful Garo's gun. There's still like he's nothing compared to Saitama. Still, like he just does the backhanded, like and he's like down for the count again, or like the kick in season 2.
Yeah.
And it's like they're hyping Garo up to be like one of the like the main antagonists or villains or whatever. It seems like that anyway from the framework. Again, no spoilers from the manga, please, please. But yeah. So anyway, it's like Saitama. Yeah, it's just the power gap is still displayed, and I feel like they're, I don't know. I don't know when Garo's like. It feels like they're hyping up Garo to be actually formidable to Saitama at some point in time. Like I don't really know what the long game is, if not that, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. It clearly didn't happen in season 3, but I'm wondering when that's going to be. But yeah, anyway, it is. Yeah, these tease encounters between two of them. They're like both Dine and Dashers. He uses Mrs. Blizzard to like pay his tab because she
It's
tricks her
hilarious.
into eating a fry. Yeah, I love that scene too. So okay, now that brings us, I feel like, to kind of a good time to segue into this topic. One of my things probably that I disliked most about the series is the severe lack of Saitama. Barely had screen time.
Yeah, no, we got to the point we were cheering when we just saw a cameo of the main character. Like, he's literally the main character, and he just got
Yeah,
cameos like every once a 3 episodes. Like,
literally. Yeah.
like I get that they wanted to show other characters, but if we could at least see him every episode, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Well, it was a
See what he's
combo
up to.
too because like the focus was clearly on Garo up until he fought the Monster King, right? And we'll talk about that episode in a second. But then Garo even disappears from the narrative mostly, and Saitama and Garo both aren't in it for a long time. And
Yeah.
yeah, but we'll talk about that segment of things. So I guess we can get to the one of the best episodes, Garo versus the Monster King. How'd that shake down? Did it go how you might expect it would? With, Garo facing Orochi, seeing Orochi's power set kind of for the first time. What do you think of that?
I mean, I loved how he just like he almost outsmarted what is it? What's the psychic guy's name?
Giro Giro.
Yeah, like he figured out what his powers were like right away, and then
Yeah,
he was moving even though he was under like his psychic abilities,
that
which
was
is
cool.
awesome.
Like you can use your muscle to counter telekinesis. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Dude.
And then against the Monster King, that was cool because he just kept like holding his own.
Yeah. Well, the Monster King. Yeah, Lord Orochi was interesting. He feels very like traditional final bossy. Like the dragons, the fire, right? Like that feels like a video
Mhm.
game boss. I feel like that was intentional to be like kind of the traditional kaiju boss, right?
Yeah,
Um and like the fact that like cuz Garo is like, "Oh, I have my technique," and then it matches him. So it's like it can also just instantly learn technique as well. So it's not just raw power, it's also
yeah,
finesse. They kept making it more and more hopeless, but then Garo kept not being scared, which is kind of fun because he wants
yeah.
to be the one, and like he wants to be the fear giver, not being
Hmm.
afraid. So that's pretty cool, and I did like that fight quite a bit. Did Orochi feel as strong as he was hyped up to be to you? Because Giro kept calling him like the ultimate life form and stuff. Did his power set feel like he was genuinely as strong as they were hyping him up to be?
It just feels like there could be something stronger pretty easily.
Yeah,
So
it's
I don't know.
it's difficult with this show because like Saitama just one punches everything, hence the name, right? So it's like you, there's this factor that you always know it's just going to take a one, like maybe it'll take a serious punch, but nonetheless it'll be one punch to kill. So it's hard to feel like
Mhm.
anything is actually powerful no matter how cool it looks,
Which,
you know?
which is why when something does end up challenging Saitama, which I'm sure at some point something is in the show, that's gonna be
Mm.
like it's gonna be crazy
Mm-hmm.
because it keeps
Yeah.
making you almost be like, wait, will this actually give Saitama a fight? But then it doesn't. And so at the
Right.
point when you get to the point where it actually will, like that's gonna be
It's gonna
insane.
be crazy, and it has to be Garo, right? Like Garo, I feel like Garo's going to
That's what
break
I
his
feel like.
limiter too. I don't know. Again, we don't know the manga. Um, no reading the manga. I probably won't even really be reading the comments on this video in case people are spoiling it. But nonetheless, so there's no chance of spoiling anything. Please don't comment anything ahead. But yeah, it does feel like Garo is going to be like the anti-Saitama or whatever coming up.
Yeah.
Um, I thought we might get more hints of a limit break in the season, but we didn't really. Like, from him.
It just, I mean, I kept hinting at it though. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean,
I
like,
don't know.
he never displayed. Okay, so Saitama was able to take out Rochi with like a normal punch, right? And
Mhm.
Garo still could barely like survive him. Like he was holding his own, but like also like he was launching attacks that weren't doing a whole lot of damage and working hard to survive Orochi's counterattacks. So it's like clearly, clearly he's still nowhere near Saitama level, right? And I just felt like
Yeah.
it was going to indicate a bit more of the like limiter evolution in this. Um, we got the House of Evolution guy talking, and it really from there it seemed really indicative that Garo was his limiters about to break. Because remember he was talking about Saitama and it was showing Garo on the screen. So
Yeah.
the narrative framework of that made it really seem like it's coming up here. But again, I did. Is it true that like I swear I saw that this was considered season 3 part 1, and instead season 4 next is going to be considered season 3 part 2. I'm not totally sure if that's true, but I felt like that's what I saw online. But I don't know. If that's the case, that could make sense. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I guess we talk about Orochi a bit there. Did you expect Orochi to have been a human? We learned that this season, right?
Oh yeah, that was interesting. I mean, it was just he's just so not human now that it was like, wow, he was a
Hmm.
human. But it's not.
Yeah.
It didn't like shock me to the point I was like, what? You know?
Yeah, like with the monster cell stuff in season 2, it kind of felt like an intuitive next step to be like, yeah, Lord Orochi is just the ultimate creation of Garo Garo through monsterization.
Right.
And we also got a bit more nuanced lore on how exactly monsters are created. Like, it's very tied to obsession and desire and whatever you're like working towards. And if it's a
Hmm.
darker inclination or a more harmful inclination, it's going to be a monsterization and yada yada. Whereas the heroes are either born with powers or work towards it in a better light or mindset or goal or whatever.
Right.
But still, it still maintains the most powerful heroes being kind of pricks. Like Class S displays a lot less heroism than you would hope that a organized hero unit would. It just kind of comes with the arrogance of power, I guess.
Hmm.
Child Emperor, though, we got some action from him, and he seems like a genuinely
That's cool.
good-hearted guy. He seems like he's out on the forces of good for real.
Yeah, well, like he also doesn't really have any like powers. It's mostly just being smart, and
He's
he
just
has
ingenious. Yeah.
technology. So he was cool. Like I actually found a new appreciation for that character.
I did. Well, I didn't care about him at all. Like I was just like, whatever, he's there. But now I actually like him after seeing him, save the kid there.
Hmm.
And all that. And the fight with Phoenix, man, that was interesting. Okay, so
That
with
was
all this, I guess we'll transition to the next half of the season then. Basically, this half was focused on the Class A heroes and the Class S heroes. And I feel like we got barely any Saitama or Gaara because it was focused on showing us their power set, their personalities, and how they fight monsters. So, yeah, I guess we'll talk about Child Emperor since we're just talking about him. Phoenix Man. How'd you like that whole thing? Did you expect that of Phoenix Man?
that was cool. I like that they gave him some relevance because he was the one that flew away Garo in the end of the second season. So it
Yeah.
was cool that they actually gave him some screen time. because I was just like, who's
Yeah.
this random guy flying our?
Yeah, and how he kept like being like a speaker for the association, it felt like he was going to be an important thing, but he always looked weak because there's like a giant bird. Uh,
Right.
so it was very cool to see him parallel the Phoenix mythology by being able to resurrect itself and then like be stronger and stuff. And the fight with Child Emperor was pretty crazy. Like I did not expect X-Men to be that strong. Like they made him really
Yeah.
strong. Yeah. And then there was just a lot of kind of smaller fights between the other class, like S heroes, and raiding the Monster Association headquarters. They focused a lot on the swordsman people, like the ninja samurai type vibe, you know, Atomic Samurai, and the blonde
Yeah.
one. I
I
forget.
do
I
like
forget some of these guys' names.
I do like that we know who these guys are now. Because before I didn't really know any of them that well. I've seen them around.
Yeah,
I only knew a few of them, but I like that we actually kind of got to like see who they are
yeah,
and like them now.
right. Again, I think that's the entire intent of most of the season was just showcasing them. Who's your favorite? I mean, I don't think any of the Class A groups was any cool, but who's your favorite Class S that they were showcasing here?
Hmm. Probably Child Emperor, just because
Yeah,
he's dope.
yeah. Yeah, from like a good-hearted character, obviously he's probably the way to go. But I like Torero Tornado a lot just because she's so like she's such like a weird person. Like she's pretty self-conceited, doesn't display much heroism, but has immense psychic power, and it's just kind of funny to hear her interact with villains and stuff and just like body them, you know?
Yeah, we really get to see how powerful she was this season,
Yeah, that was yeah, like I feel like they keep up it like they keep surprising me with how powerful they intend to make her. Like that's kind of crazy.
which makes you
Um
wonder how she's second, not first.
Blast, dude, the elusive Blast. That's something. Oh yeah, My Mask. He's Class A, I believe, but he's the singer guy, the pop idol,
Oh right,
revealed to be a monster. What is going on with that?
that was yeah, that caught me off guard. I was like,
It did.
huh?
I was like, what? It felt so random. I was like, what? Oh, okay.
I feel like there's quite a few random things that they just like threw at us, like not in a bad way
Yeah,
really, but just, like hinting, I guess, and
just
you're
like
like,
happened.
whoa,
Like the character calling himself God, like he appeared and like he granted that guy powers.
right? Like
Like what is going on with that?
something's weird there.
Yeah, and again, it's just these small moments of like a lore drop, kind of, but it just raises more questions than answers, and then it's like moving on. So it's clearly setting stuff up for later, but um,
Could it could it be, I don't know, my mask guy,
no way, no, 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 no.
but he's a monster?
That would be. I feel like that's being a little. I think a My Mask, it's below that level of power, though. You know.
Yeah,
I,
and he was genuinely like killing the monsters, so I don't think he's working
True,
with them.
right? Like, yeah, because he did eat them. The weird whip lady he destroyed. That is weird. So why, if he is a monster, and I guess they just said he's not human, so maybe he's not strictly a monster as we would know monsters. I don't know, but it is interesting to be like, if he is a monster, why such opposition towards other monsters? It's kind of a unique situation because normally they're marked by, like they get monsterized and they have thirst for violence and they kind of lack like more civilized functions normally.
Right.
Like yeah. But that was an interesting. There is these little lore drops that are clearly setting up future plot developments that I kind of like, but again, none of them really bloomed out in this. Even prior plot mysteries didn't really flower out. Like this season, I didn't mind. Like I didn't hate it like other people, but I will say probably the weakest part about it is nothing really happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nothing.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Which honestly has kind of been all of One Punch Man if you think about it. You know? Like it's mostly about the action and having fun with the characters, and they set up these little lore things and then wait forever for them to come to fruition. Like we still don't know the Genos history, right? Like the cyborg that destroyed his
I
village, what's
know.
going on with Metal Knight and all that. Like that was set up early, and we still don't really know the context behind it. So like it's just kind of the formula of the series, which is it's
Hmm.
fine because that's the way it's set up to be. Um, but yeah, anything else from that kind of half of the season before we get into more finale talk? What anything else you wanted to bring up?
Not that I can think of right now.
Yeah, I would just be like other side character stuff happening, like the Class A group that no one cares about, and but yeah. Okay, so kind of moving on to the next important episode, I would say was the finale. Garo versus Terrible Tornado. I was very hyped to see this fight because Garo's a
Yeah,
psychic, Tornado's a psychic. I wanted to see the extent of Garo's power. I wanted to see him power scaled next to Tornado. And on the one hand, well, what do you think about it? What do you think about it before I give my opinion, actually?
it caught me off guard how powerful she was in that fight. I thought it was gonna be like a very back and forth fight, but
Yeah.
she just obliterated him without a second thought. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
No. Yeah. Continue. Were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say, what was it? Oh, okay, sorry. Basically, he mentioned how he wasn't in like his true form or something at the end, so I don't know.
Yeah.
He's really like dying. He might come back as something more powerful. I don't know, but
He did like kind of transform to have a bunch of eyes appear all around them, and I felt it was unclear if that was supposed to be his next form or if he didn't really achieve his next form. Do you remember if there's
well, he was
like
talking about like how he couldn't right now. So then he was calling
oh
for the Monster King to come like distract her or
yeah
something, but he didn't come because he was busy fighting.
yeah okay, interesting. I also, when the whole thing was like exploding, I felt like there was two protective orbs within the room with Tornado, which kind of made me think he didn't get obliterated.
Yeah, he's probably not dead. He feels too sort of important.
Yeah, Orochi too. I don't know. I have a weird feeling that Orochi might not really be fully out of the story.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, like, we have zero, like, we don't really have the real lore of him, his being a human, like who he was before the Monster King. They were talking about he needed a sacrifice for his resurrection, which was really kind of unclear as to what was going on with that. And then there was, like, the carvings on the ground after he was, punched by Saitama. So, I
Yeah,
don't know. I feel like they're, like, maybe, like, because Phoenix Man resurrected after that, after he got killed by, Child Emperor there. So I'm almost wondering if there's going to be like an Orochi resurrection somehow, and that's what he was talking about to some extent. Like if someone's gonna sacrifice someone, for all I know, and then like Orochi comes back. It feels like
maybe.
Garo
Yeah.
Garo and Orochi both might still be in play to some degree, you know?
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like it felt a little too all of a sudden
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, because I was gonna say about the Tornado, on the one hand, it was hype to see her be so strong, but on the other hand, I felt like it's a little anticlimactic because I was hype up for like a cool psychic fight, and it was really just, Tornado put him in his place,
Yeah.
She's absurdly strong. I wonder what Blast's power set is
I don't
after
know.
witnessing how strong some of these Class S heroes are. Anyways, yeah, and then the Saitama Orochi fight. Pretty, what you'd expect. What'd you think, though, of the ending there?
I mean, of course, I'm always wondering, will it actually give him trouble? Never does.
Right, and it never
So
does.
I love though that I love that because
Yeah,
it's just so cool. It's so Saitama. He just
yeah,
takes care of business, then leaves.
yeah, yeah. Because, like, especially in season 1, it kept being, like, hyping up this thing to be super strong, so you kept wondering if it's going to be a fight, and then it wasn't. So then from then on, you kind of know the pattern. And, like, every time they keep getting stronger, and you're just like, yep. That's why they have to wait so long, though. Like, the pacing feels so bad, but, like, Saitama can't be there early.
Exactly.
Or else it's over, So, yeah. That's why you have to build out the other characters in Outside World, because if it's only Saitama-centric, it's going to be nothing cool is going to happen, really,
Yeah. How'd you like his fight with the dog thing? I like that.
That was funny. I like how he intentionally didn't kill the thing. Like, he gave it, like, a love
Yeah.
tap, basically, and made sure not to kill it. That was cute.
I like how it also gave you a little view of just how powerful Saitama is, even when he's not trying.
Yeah,
Like,
the whole surrounding area. The biggest earthquake from the fight is just from him love tapping the dog. Like, yeah. I like how I said sit, and Gara said sit doggy, and Saito was just like sit.
Yes, because it
Yeah,
didn't work for Garo, but it did for him. Like, it was awesome.
yeah, yeah. Um, and then Orochi's talking him, does the whole villain speech thing of like, I'm the ultimate life form and the most powerful thing ever, and Saito's just bored because it's over 20 words.
I love that.
Yeah. And yeah, then the hype music kicks in, and he does his finale punch, as has been the tradition
Hmm.
for every season so far. Um, yeah, I again, went about as you'd expect. I really do think Orochi deserved more plot relevance, so I feel like he and Gyargo might still be around. It would especially make sense if indeed the next one is going to be considered season 3 part 2 instead of independent season 4.
Hmm.
You know, if the Monster Association elites are still around. Um, but yeah, overall, I can see why people complain about it, but for me personally, I enjoyed it well enough. You know,
Yeah, I
I'll
agree. It was good.
I'll concede most of the episodes were like really like I didn't totally care about the characters for a lot of them, because like it wasn't just like, oh, I don't want to see his characters at all. It was just like literally like 11 minutes of episode runtime would be devoted to a fight between characters and random villains that I really was just like, come on, like I want to get to the cooler stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But oh well, I think it was the point of the arc anyway, was to flesh out the Class S heroes and get to know them better. So I feel like, again, I feel like we're really spared by the fact we only waited a traditional length in between seasons instead of having watched season 2 right when it came out and then waited like 6
Yeah, that
years
did help.
for everything to get
That
their
helped.
act together. Yeah, that helps a lot. Like I totally understand the people who waited 6 years for this and then being like let down by it. But hopefully the One Punch Man anime stays alive and stays consistent with season releases now. Because I genuinely like the anime, you know?
Yeah, me too. It's
Like,
really good.
yeah, we'll always have the manga if the anime does kind of lose its steam, but I hope not, because I like the anime. You know?
Yeah, I I had to do that with Snow White with the red hair. They stopped putting out the
Yeah,
show, so I
yeah,
bought manga.
yeah. And that's just how it has to go sometimes. But yeah, that's why I too try to be really positive about the season, because I genuinely don't want it to just stop.
Yeah,
Like, I don't like. I guess people, if they don't like something, they express that they don't like it. I get, but like, it's like I don't want the anime to be so hated that it just gets shut down.
right. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, overall, good season. I feel like the 2 episodes I felt like actually was the most hype for sure was the Garo versus Orochi, and then Saitama versus Orochi.
Yeah.
The kind of the midway episode and the finale episode. What I guess since we were talking about the finale punch there, what has been your favorite final punch? There is Boros, Sentichuro, and Orochi. What has been your favorite finale, like Saitama finale punch?
I probably just had to say Sentichuro because that was just the whole setup of it was just good, and King
Yeah.
like be like
Yeah,
Saitama,
okay.
like, it was just so good.
Saitama. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like the Boros one was like, I feel like Boros is one of the most powerful entities we've ever seen in the show still. So it was really hyped to see Saitama like just defend, like he's barely trying, right? Like
Yeah,
and then just take him out. But I still think, even though Sentichuro I feel like was less powerful than Boros, again, it's just the setup, the framework of it. Like you see the other class S's struggling to stay alive against Sentichuro. Then King, who has no powers, has to lure him in, pretending Blast is there. And then Saito the music kicked in at the perfect time in that one as well. Like the music was perfect in that instance. Uh, and the punch, and everyone, just like the class S people, just like watch him disintegrate. So probably would go Sentichuro, Boros, and then Orochi for me. The Orochi one is perfectly fine. It was just like just at that point you really expect the final punch, and like it really was Saitama just like spent literally over half the season like walking to the place and then just gets there and casually punches Orochi and just leaves. So it's like, it was still really hype, but the setup was just less to it than the other final punches.
exactly.
What are your predictions for season 4 without us having read ahead in the manga or anything? What do you think's going to happen next?
I think he and Gar are gonna fight somehow.
Yeah, they have to. Like,
Cause like, yeah.
genuinely, what has been the point of all this if it's not leading up to a Garo Saitama fight?
And at the end of this season, it showed Garo like hopping down after Saitama just punched him.
Still holding up. Yeah, he's like, yeah. So, yep. I'm going to say I think Orochi will be resurrected somehow because they mentioned that. I think Gyaro is not dead. I don't know why he might not be dead, whether it's Tornado protecting him for some reason, or he managed to protect himself somehow, and then trying to reach his final form. And I think maybe if I had to guess, over the course of what happens next, it'll be, again, thinning out Gaara's limiter still, and then maybe at the end of the next batch, he does break it, or it's implied that he's breaking it. And then the next one after that would be more Saitama versus Gaara stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, people who have read the manga will probably know exactly what's happening, so they might be laughing at us. But we like basically how we roll is if we like an anime enough, we prefer to get the spoilers through the anime rather than going through the manga. So we only read the manga up to the point where we're at in the anime typically. So that's just kind of how we roll when we really like something. Obviously not if I'm reading the manga first, or if it's like I don't care if that, like I don't care enough to not get like preserve the spoilers for the show, but that's how we roll. So again, everything we're saying is pertaining only to the 3 seasons of the anime. But yeah, kind of a shorter episode today. Just wanted to talk about that. Anything you want to mention, Legendet, before we sign off?
No, I think that was good.
Very good. Yeah, for all the hate it's getting, I still like One Punch Man.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's really good still. Like, it's so hype.
Yeah.
And funny.
Yeah, I know. It's a nice blend of comedy and actual action, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. Yeah, so anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out, listening to us yap about it. Keep loving lore, keep drinking tea, and we'll see you next time.